called Voices by Patrick Patrikios, and a lady who has a channel, Irish True Crime or Irish Coffee True Crime, uses that as her intro. And I watched months worth of her missing people, or not even missing, murdered people over there in Ireland. And Patrick Patrikios came up on my YouTube, YouTube free music, and I was like, oh my God, it says, well, I didn't know the name of it, and I played it, and I went, oh my God, that's it. So it's called Voices, and I wanted to play it because I need to be heard. I need to be understood by every person out there, and then I'm just going to drop this forever. I'm sure by now Jimmy, way deep down inside, is shocked and perplexed. And I knew, PJ would stay there and stay with him. It's not that. It's just, I need to be heard, especially with what I started yesterday. And this sisterly someone, I'll show you a picture. I don't have screenshots, but I have pictures that I took with my other iPad. Her and some beet juice lady and a Susan Jones. I'm not going to comment in chat or anything, you guys. Anybody that wants to be here and listen, that's nice of you. I have gotten mostly support, but when I woke up this morning, it's almost noonish. I'm still in my pajamas. Fed the cats. Anyway, it hurt me. And I'll show you the screenshot of sisterly something, whatever. And she said, I'm not going to believe this unless I see screenshots. How do we know you didn't just write this? I'm going to sit down with my tremors and write all that out. And my one little response to one other person that said that the day before, I didn't respond, I didn't heart, and then I just typed, be real. And so then, since more of her followers chimed in and said the same thing, I was like, really? Really? We're all going to be, not me, but Jimmy and her are going to be embarrassed even more. And you know what? Maybe none of this matters. But I went through abuse with my ex-husband for years, and I was blamed for everything for years. And I am not going to be blamed for this. It takes two, and that's it. So again, I'm doing this because I guess people need more proof. And I wasn't going to. I was talking to Sierra last night. I was like, I am 1,000, or I said 100% not going to talk about PJ or Jimmy anymore. That's what I typed before I even went to bed. We didn't type long. We talked about the gas explosion in the Bronx in New York. Those poor people. There's definitely one dead. I don't know how many more. ICMEL was covering it, so it came up on my YouTube. The fire was atrocious. I'm telling you right now, they had a May Day declaration in this building that was built in 1967. This brick building in the Bronx in New York. People were freezing outside. Family members, it was at 1:30 in the morning. It was a gas explosion. Someone smelled gas, and then boom, the whole top of the building blew off on like one side. So I watched that depressing thing, and then I went to bed for a while. Now, oh, good grief. People are sending me notifications on my live. He was taken in because his father abandoned him. No, those officers knew that that little 5-year-old boy could have been driven a couple blocks down the road to the school, anything. And they didn't want to bother with the humanity part, period. They didn't. And there's a little 2-year-old girl and her mother, too. And I saw the cages and things at that Dilley place in Texas that kids were put in before. Maybe it's nicer now. I don't know. But this is what I want to say. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Am I a little sad? Yeah, I'm pretty sad about all of this, that it's come to this. But she did her live yesterday saying that Sierra and I are delusional and we're crazy. All right, I'm back. Yeah, my tremors are like so bad. You would not believe the way this iPad is shaking. Or anything. So a stupid notification came on and I tried to move it and it took me to a different page and I had to reboot. So here we go. It didn't take me long to do this. I have just about 3 things to show, and then I'm gonna end the live, or I might say hi to people in chat. I don't know. There's no sound. This is my messenger. And I don't care if I show my last name. Shit. Now what? Where's the camera? Now the camera isn't working. Great. Wait, maybe it's this. Yep. Okay, it's gonna be small. God. Fuck. I'm just gonna hold it. Now, this isn't working either because of my tremors. I'm gonna start it over. The stupid camera wasn't on. Okay, I'll go ahead and read out loud what it says. You guys can get your magnifying glasses or whatever you need to do in the future to blow this up. It says, is that a thumbs up? I'm going to meet you both at the pier or somewhere. I'm trying. You start over. Fucking bullshit. You see my name up on top? Megan Keycheck. Is that a thumbs up? I'm going to meet you both at the pier or somewhere. I'm trying to get an idea of what to expect. I forwarded a message from his page. You will get to meet me. I said, just you? He said, IDK. Does she work on Mondays? He said, yes. You can see the you forwarded message. God. This is what I was reading from yesterday and why it took so long. That would be great if you could meet me on my, whatever the hell it said. People that don't have tremors are lucky. Okay, it happened again. Sorry. I also thought it would be much bigger on this screen. It's big on this iPad. I have it the long way. That would be great if I could. Okay, it happened again. I'm just going to start from the beginning and read it quicker. Damn it. Is that a thumbs up? I'm going to meet you at the pier or somewhere. I'm trying to get an idea of what to expect. You will get to meet me, just you. I don't know. Does she work on Mondays? Yes. It would be great if I could meet you at my room in the morning before I have to head to the airport in the afternoon. We could have a Coke, among other things. So this was when, you know, I didn't know if it was just him or and her or what. So I thought, okay, just have a soda or something, right? Okay, like you said, we'll see what happens. The only way, oh God, just a minute. I don't care if people are laughing at my setup either. We'll see what happens. I'll be able to get in touch with you in here on Messenger unless you buy a burner phone. Because I had heard of those. I never did before, but anyway. Happiest birthday, Jimmy. I could make it even happier this weekend. Hey, I'm leaving in a couple hours for the shuttle. Then my flight tonight about 9 p.m. For some reason, I'm very relaxed. Made sure I was getting enough sleep this week. Say a prayer for me, Jimmy. See you later, hugs. He says, when you land. I said, hi, land at 8:26 a.m. Friday. Are you going to be there? Maybe. Wishful thinking, okay? I didn't think he was going to be at the dang airport, that's for sure. I'm excited and anxious. I'm going to take an Ativan before boarding. Since you're here, Jimmy, does PJ know I'm coming? Yes or no, pretty please, so I can mentally prepare. When I asked you before, I didn't know which part of my message you were thumbing up. That's why I'm asking again. You don't know if she knows? Interesting. It's mum's the word on my end. I forwarded the message from Jimmy's page. I will be free in the morning. I'm hanging out at D9 Gate at SeaTac. That's incredible news. Could you meet me at the airport? Does anybody know you're coming? That's what he said. See the forwarded message? Words, and I said, Maria G, because she paid for my lodging. Oh no, I had to, because Maria paid for my lodging. She'll never ever say a word. It will never be known. I don't tell a soul. That's what he said. He probably meant to put, you don't tell a soul. I had no choice in lodging, but I don't even have to let them know. If I saw you, they just know I'm experiencing the beach. I would never mess anything up for you, ever. PJ makes me a tad nervous, I said. I needed a vacation anyway. You'd be the icing on the cake. What time you land? He says, I'm only free till 3. Oh my God, I'm boarding now. Holy shit. You get a layover anywhere, he said. I arrive Charlotte at 5 a.m. My flight leaves, well, whatever. I'm boarding with group 8 in 20 minutes. Forwarded message, what you got on? And I said, the things I do for you, wink emoji. I'm wearing jeans, flannel, red and black tank top with a flannel shirt over it, red sandals, and I have pigtails. Are you literally meeting me at the airport, Jimmy? There it is. Whoops, right there, Y-E-A. That's how he talks, yeah. I said, oh my God, with all these G's. Okay, I'm going on now. Say a prayer for me. He goes, Kay, you're going to be fine. What are you wearing? Or no, not what are you wearing? I can't remember now what it said there. Something, oh, he said, name the last plane that crashed. You can't. And, you know, he's right. And I asked him what he was wearing. He said black hat, black pants. He had on black, what are those called? You know, just those pants people wear. Not slacks, not jeans, but I can't even think of the word. Yeah. North Carolina. Then I said, I'm in Charlotte. He said, North Carolina. Then I said, I'm in Charlotte. He said, cool. I said, how long before you leave? I said, I leave at 7:14. What time can you, oh, check-in room. That's what he said. You forwarded the message, see it above it? I said, check-in is at 3 p.m. Is there a lake or beach nearby? He said, yeah. He said, damn, I'm only free till 3. I may be able to get in my room at 2 p.m. You need to leave at 3 or be back by 3. He said, leave. He said, leave by. I said, that's okay. I'm so grateful. If you could have one of those days to yourself, so we could hang out again. Maybe you could bring me to the airport. You could come visit my room in the AM first. He said K. If you see the little teeny K on top, again, you guys will have to zero in somehow. Maybe I can check in by 2 and we'll have an hour or so romping. If you're interested. He said, in my car. I was thinking that on the plane, LOL. I said, you're making me hot. Oh my God. Anyway, more. I said, I want to put my swimsuit on in your car and hang out at a nearby lake and then check in with you at 2 p.m. Then hop into the bed with you. So, see, I got it all planned out, LOL. God, I wish I'd stop moving. He talks about rubbing it in the car. I said, oh God, I can't hardly read it from here. The room is already ahead of time, won't be together, something, but I'm okay. Would be going back to sleep for an hour, he says. You forwarded a message above, and I said something or other, I don't know. I said, yes, I'm here. I'm about to pull up to the American now. He says, walk outside. And then he says, you forwarded a message, so I'm at front doors, he said. He says, see all these forwarded messages? Look for the sign that says 3 when you get outside. I will try to get to something. I gave him my phone number, and I don't care if people have it because it's no longer my phone number because I couldn't find him. So I typed in my iPad my phone number really fast. He said, oh Lord, when I told him later on, this is after we were able to meet each other, etc. He goes, oh Lord, you see the forwarded message right there. I'm not lying about that Rastafarian guy. So that's that there. Okay, and I'm telling you right now, I wasn't gonna do this. Like, no way. This is kind of over the top for me. Not kind of, it is over the top. This is way after I got back, quite a few months ago, but quite a few months after the trip I made. You all can take your own dang screenshots of that. I'll let that sit there a little while. It's Jimmy Jams. This is the burner phone number, I guess. 757-618-9719. He says, only hit me up at number. And then I said, I don't know what the hell I said. And I said, no more messenger. He said, nah. N-A-W. Yeah. Saying I never met him. Fucking bullshit. And she can go ahead and continue to wear her tiara, try to make herself feel better, and all this kind of stuff. But she hated me clear back, and I mean hated me, when I was up on his panels. And I didn't know this. Maria G and I were always good friends. I think PJ used Maria G to get to and through other people, not just me. And after she typed me this big long letter saying, because she thought I would respond on Messenger about not going. She's the one that told me not to go to Tennessee. Jimmy never said that. And I can say that on wherever my mom and sister's graves are. I can, and my father. And she typed me a big long letter, and there were different things in it, like, we are 10,000% together. I don't want you to be embarrassed or feel awkward. Do not come. Something like, I haven't heard back from you. I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And that was after she kept trying to get me on Messenger. She tried calling me, everything. And I just flat ignored her. And wasn't even in the chat during that time. So yeah. So there it is, folks. And I said, I'll call when you're not live. And he says, text number only. Okay, that's the Jimmy Jams logo thing. And let's put the record straight for Sierra. He gave her a number 2. It could have been this one. I don't know. But she had a burner phone number 2. So when I say, PJ, the first 2.5 years of your life were kind of a lie, yeah. And you kept thinking he was falling and falling and falling more in love with you. Well, he's doing his own thing, because I said on many of my lives, don't worry, I never even addressed her for the longest time. I don't do these petty little lives on other people. I mean, Team Rose and I did when we were really fighting and all that, and thank God we're friends. And in fact, I just heard from her yesterday, and then the week before, and then every day before that. And so we're very close as Maria G and I are. But yeah, so there it is. It probably doesn't exist anymore. That's the one that I contacted him on about the wish list for, I can't remember the name now. It was a little boy, though. It was Christmas time. And for those of you that think, oh, she's probably using someone else's messenger, no. Okay, that is me up there with my cartoon avatar. I have friends Kylie, Mary Jane Doe, Maria G, Rose, her name, oh no, that's okay, Jacqueline, which is Truth Seeker, Luna Moon, Kim Kern, and many more. It's mine. And then this is the reason I did it. Okay, if people want to say, oh, she's being dirty, she's being snide. No, I did it because this woman was relentless. She sent me at least two. This one, Snoop Sisters Investigates, right here. It says, commented, this was this morning, or maybe last night. Why not show screenshots if this is real, period? I don't believe this unless I see screenshots. Okay? This is why I'm in my pajamas, haven't had any coffee, fed the cats, haven't done much of anything yet, and I'm setting the record straight again. So they can go and be on their merry way. And again, he's her money card, period. And I sound like a jealous, scorned person. I'm telling you right now, I'm not. I'm not. And Shit. What I am is tired of people calling me names and not believing it. And after I did all that I did yesterday, anyone in their right mind would believe what I said. Like, I have tremors. I'm not going to write all that down. So you had to see it on Messenger. Now, this is just for it to be out there 1,000%. This isn't so Jimmy can be picked on. This isn't, or anything like that. Go to his channel, sub up. Dolly Vision investigates now. Thank you. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate everyone that's ever here. And I'm just done with this. Okay, I don't have all the techno. I don't even know how to do screenshots. But that's just a fact. Okay? But we're not on Messenger anymore at all. And it's been quite a few months, and that's because he was really nervous and scared. So anyway, I don't know. I guess I'll say a quick hi. Oh, God. I can't hardly see this. There we go. Why does it say Rip Alex? Who died? That's by Genevieve. What happened? Is there sound? A nurse, Tina. What? Wait. A nurse. A nurse died? I don't understand. But we do know that there's first they said he was 51, then they said he was 37-year-old man got shot. Okay, he had a gun on him. So what? It doesn't mean it was pulled out or anything. And maybe in self-defense he was trying to save his life at the protest. We don't know. There's an investigation. What we do know is that another person is dead in Minneapolis. And before he died, he had like 6 or 7 thugs, because that's what ICE is, all on top of him. And after he was shot, he was being, was it kicked or punched? It was punched over and over again in the body. Makes me freaking sick. And yeah. You are being heard, Tina. What's their channel? I'll report them for spreading false information. Holiday Shelby. Well, I mean, there's PJ Vision, or I think she goes by that now, but she's not really spreading. Oh, you mean the sisterly people or whatever the hell? Avatar? I have no idea. I hit on their thing. I don't even think they have a channel. But it's okay. It's simple, but don't blame others when they didn't do anything. Yeah. I think they want pics of the text, not you reading it or writing it out. If I'm understanding this, not sure, new here. Trees 3446. Yeah. But I don't even think people believed that we were on Messenger together. In fact, I said, right before the burner phone thing, I said, I'm going to miss FaceTiming with you. That's what I said. Okay, this Rat-tat-tat person says, or Ratata-VR, hi guys, I broke my leg. Gosh, if you really did, I'm very sorry. Be respectful. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. She tried to be strong in her life, but she's really, really hurt too. Well, that's the thing, you guys. I'm not hurt because I felt like I was falling in love with him and getting to know him, and I was in Messenger and things like that for a good 3 whole months until I found out about her, and it was too late. You know, she didn't like walk in and bring him to an altar to marry him. So, and I wasn't competing or anything. I just wanted to stay friends and have what we had. So, you know, it's not like, you know, in March when I found out, and the very end of March when he, you know, reached out to me, because it was like a couple of weeks after that, I was like, what? You know, because like I wrote cutie and I put a pie emoji in the chat, and she was in the chat, and I didn't even flippin' know that she was like seeing him. Okay, I heard she was doing the mail for him, like just mailing packages, and was someone in Virginia. I didn't know anything about her, nothing. Is this the room for the crazies? Seems selfish to keep bringing this up. No, sidekick. No, it's not. Because other people aren't just letting me be with my truth. They're wanting damn screenshots. Others are involved like their children. Whatever happened doesn't matter now. That's right. They're not engaged, all right? They're not engaged. They're not engaged. He was pressured by someone, and I know this, to, and I won't say by who, but to get her a ring. You know she wants a ring. You know she wants a ring. It's not an engagement ring. Whatever. Yeah, I know. And she's living there and they built a pool. It's not about that. But, hi, Killing Time. I apparently, thank you, Martin Rowe, for always being here too. Apparently, I had to show more. The tremors show this isn't good for you, not good for anyone, really. Well, I have tremors anyway, but they're really, really bad. When I haven't eaten, haven't even had a sip of water, and they're worse since, you know, probably holding all this in and having a stress-induced heart attack. He had one. It was in August, shortly after his birthday. He had one a year later, and then I had one a year after that. It's just so weird, in April. See, the problem is that PJ was insisting that they never met, calling Tina crazy, and that's BS. So I'm glad Tina is putting her story out. Good for her. PJ is a bully and has said nasty things. Well, she's certainly not very nice to people in Jimmy's chat. She might be better now, but in the past she's like, oh, do we have to repeat that again? Or, oh my God, he doesn't need a bunch of mothers in here. Or, oh man, he won't take a pill. He won't take an aspirin. I've tried to tell him. He doesn't listen to me. I mean, it's just condescending to him, condescending to her chat. Mama Shell says, also says, she's a nasty person and Tina is more of a woman than PJ will ever be, so there now she can see the receipts. Don't you ever feel bad for telling the truth, Tina. He led you on for a very long time. He led me on only for about 3 months. And I understand, you know, but then he also said he was on and off with PJ. He could have said, I do have a girlfriend, you know, and the thing is, when I talked to him, I said, you know, don't be afraid to tell me. I said, I'm a big girl. I can handle it like that. And then he didn't say it's true and all this. He just said it's off and on. I'm telling you, on my family's graves, wherever on earth they are, in the Midwest somewhere. MS0426 says she hates herself in reality, but to each their own these days. We appreciate you, PCT, no matter what. Thank you so much. I wonder what makes PJ so insecure that she's okay with being second or third. I'll never see what y'all see in Dolly Don Juan, says Halloween Baby. Hi, Halloween Baby. It's been a while. And music, movies, and chill. Nice to see you too. Thank you. Hi, T. Wanted to say hi to you and Martin. I'll probably change my name again someday to just Megan something, because the name Tina, like, I don't know, it just kind of went with Paper Cut Tina, I guess. That's what Jimmy and 3 Dot thought. So, you know, I knew the situation in the springtime, but I was up there all the time. And again, I never thought I would be able to meet him. So I was just having fun. I was having fun when my life was, you know, pretty boring and that kind of thing. And you know, I I really liked Darren and everything, but you know, it was, I don't know. I was with him for 8 years, and I even showed him my channel, and he didn't even really want to see anything. I told him I used to be on Dolly Vision and there just wasn't any kind of interest. So to this day, have I told him that I went there? No. And will he ever see them here? No. You know, because I didn't say we're through. I just said, you need someone younger, because he's 57 and I'm older, 6 years older. And I didn't like the way he was judging me for being sick more than 3 or 4 days without even saying it. You know, you feel things in your heart. Yeah, I saw Queen Bee's live because somebody tagged me or whatever that's called with it. And I did see that, and she covered when PJ jumped up on stage and was screaming at me. And it's too long to do anyway to do. You shouldn't have to. Just here to support me, Tina. Thank you, Mama Shell. Yeah, that was amazing. TDB 8409. I didn't know there was 700 in her chat, but I looked through her chat and they were on my side, and they don't even barely know me. Some of them have heard of me and maybe seen my program or through clip channels. Well, I know PJ used to be kind of friends with Queen Bee at one point, wasn't she? Allegedly, I better say, like over a year ago, and then they had a falling out because of something. You know, Dolly and Queen Bee, that's a different story. Mama Michelle says she'll never be the only one. Dolly is a ladies' man. I mean, honestly, does she really think he's changed just for her? She's not that special, and that crown she wears is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to say it. You couldn't pay me. You couldn't. You, well, maybe $500. If someone sent me $500 and a tiara, I'd probably try it on at least. But to try to come across like I'm a queen or better than anybody or a princess, to me, shows insecurity. Um, Sierra did a live, and apparently Jimmy was with Missa, that Missa lady way back, and um, cheated on her apparently with who? Let's see, Sierra, and then cheated on, this is allegedly, but this is what Sierra says, and then cheated on PJ with Sierra because they had just gotten together. And then Sierra saw him again another time, and then even a third time, but the third time they didn't have you know what. So that's all the first, uh, you know, first year of their relationship. And so she hates Sierra, won't say her name, this and that and the other thing. Now, I don't even think PJ, when Bullhorn Betty got with Jimmy or whatever, allegedly, I guess I'll say, even though it's in documents, I guess, I don't think he got together. I'm pretty sure PJ wasn't with him. When I was watching that whole Georgia thing and Quentin Simon, somebody named PJ sent both of them coffees and possibly even donuts. The name was just PJ. And I think it was her. And I think clear back in October, before she feels she made it known, or to herself anyway, that she was with him, she was trying to get him. So she can say whatever she wants. Also, when I looked back at her channel from good 4 or 5 years ago, she was with another YouTuber. And I'm going to say it right here. He was a married man. And yeah, so she's not perfect herself. And that was, what was his name? Shoot. Anyway, I can't remember. But I had people send me screenshots of things, and he was married. Yeah. And then, and now I guess her eyes, Sierra feels, are on a deception detective or something. So she's one of these women that has to have this YouTuber kind of lifestyle, and I think to fuel her spending addiction, or whatever you want to call it. First, for this man that was married that she was with, was she was a mod for, so you guys can look all that up way back. And he did a little short calling her name out in her channel, and I saw that. And I think he even said, "I love PJ," or something like that, allegedly. My short-term memory isn't very good. So I don't want to say. So, well, niece says, Tina, I'm respectfully asking, why would you want to meet anyone that wants you to be a secret?
because, I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, if I'm gonna meet, I mean, how else do I say it? He's kind of a big to do. Okay. And I looked back at his Jimmy Jam shows, and I actually looked back at his bands once he said he was in All Has Fallen, the name of his band, and he was this sort of rock star in his 30s or 35 in this band here in Virginia where he lives. And his hair was really long, and he was, a little bigger and drinking a lot of beer, but he was screaming through that microphone. So, my point is, he's not just a YouTuber. And when the thing is, I wasn't planning on seeing, well, of course, I wanted to see him and meet him, right, at Summers Memorial. And I was just going to shake his hand because I knew she'd be there. I mean, she goes everywhere, right? And she's going to be there. So I was going to go to the memorial, but then we were all getting these behind the scenes and through the woodwork kind of deal, death threats of going. And so, boom, there's no memorial to support Summer Wells, and I'm not going to meet Jimmy or, any Lori Shortlegs or any of the other regulars um, that were planning on going. I'm pretty sure she was planning on going. I might have been wrong about that, but I thought she was. And so, like I said, I changed my ticket to the birthday bash he was going to have in October. And I'm going to put this camera on really quick. And that was going to be in October. And I was even kind of looking at prices of cabins and talking to his sister, and she said some are cheaper and some are more expensive, and just in case they were in like this cabin area. And so anyway, and if it wasn't there, it was going to be at a great big hotel. And it was getting exciting for everybody, and women wanted to go, and PJ put a stop to it behind the scenes with him. Flat period. That's what happened. Okay. And maybe that weekend, I think they did go off somewhere together, but he wanted to have a special like meet and greet. That's what he wanted. But she was starting to take over his life even then. And this is over 2 years ago. Um, so I have this ticket, and the fact of the matter is, I was like, okay, the memorial's canceled, um, and the bash is canceled, and I still have this ticket because I called Cheapo Air. Um, I did. I called to see if I could get my money back. And he said, you can't keep changing it. No, 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 and all this. And when I talked to the lady at SeaTac, she said Cheapo Air and those airlines that profess to be cheap really aren't. They're more expensive. And yeah. So she told me what I could have flown over there for. And I mean, it wasn't a ton less, but it was like 500 and something round trip instead of my 711. And I don't have money to waste or burn. And as I said the other day, my trust fund is gone. And I didn't even know how big it was. I got about 300, so I wouldn't lose my housing and that kind of thing every 3 months, and a little gift of 200 um, from my aunt and uncle that were executors in Iowa. So paying everyone back, I knew I could pay Destiny Rose back. I knew I could pay Maria G back. Maria G uh, said I didn't have to pay her back, but then we had that falling out, and she was Team Rose's mod and all this, and we both felt it was the right thing to do, so I paid her back, and Destiny Rose wanted her money right away. She was getting slightly threatening in my messenger, and that whole thing was weird because I knew her for like, I got to know her. Well, she was in Dolly Vision's chat and said that she could sell me a cheap phone or something through what now, I can't remember, and she works for him. And I was naive, but she sent me a picture of the place and she was standing by the table. So I, to this day, I think it's legit. She sent me pictures of her home after the tornado hit where she lives. I'll just say in the Midwest area somewhere. She actually showed me her little turtle pool that she had turtles in, and uh, I, well, she had to have saved them. I mean, there's no way they weren't in there the next day, but she had to have, taken them out and put them somewhere and saved them, knowing this huge tornado was coming. She was losing power and calling me and messaging me, I mean, almost crying. Said she's in the bedroom with a mattress up against the door with her kids. We were close. She told me I was like a mother to her, or I felt like a mother, or I felt like I could be her mother or something like that. Um, and so when I took the trip down and came back and said, I'm back to her, she was like, well, did you meet him? And I said, I'm not going to say. And then she got like pissed about it. What? I gave you that money to meet him. Did you meet him or not? Why are you doing this? I think she was even calling me Megan, and in Messenger, and I said, I don't want to say. I'm not going to say. And in fact, the very first time, now a little bit of my memories coming back from that, I think I said no. And she was feeling, she actually, yeah, she insulted him. She said, I can't believe that. You went all the way down there and blah, blah, blah. And so, I'm not letting people know. And she demanded and demanded. And then she threatened me about getting the money back to her in 2 days and this and that and the other thing. And I said, Destiny, I don't get my trust fund for another, see, it was August, so 2 months in October, and then I'd get another little one in November, December, January, another one in April, like that. And yeah, and I saved all those messages. I have them all, um, because you learn to forward things the longer you're in YouTube to your own messenger page in case you get blocked, you know. And then I went through all that weird stuff with Grand Mammy Annie or whatever, and she's still out there in the ether. She was in Dolly Vision's chat yesterday, but so yeah, I All right, so that whole thing was really freaking weird. And the whole thing with that woman I just said, uh, from Norway, I, uh, she was saying I was stalking her, but really she was harassing and stalking me. And I brought it up on Dolly Vision chat, and nobody, really wanted to talk about it. And I said, no, this is serious. There's a typed up some kind of letter from her lawyer, and it was the weirdest thing I've ever been through. And then over a year later, a sheriff called me and said this woman called her twice to say I was harassing her. And then I was getting concerned because she's from Washington State, not in my town, but I'll just say an island area. And yeah, it was just so strange. And when she called me to say this woman was accusing me of that and asked me just like 2 questions, she could tell that she was a not the word isn't it's what is it, fanatic, I don't know, now I can't remember the word, but the sheriff person that called me worked with the mental health department. This was not this past November, but I think the one before it. So anyway, I said, oh my God. And then she didn't tell me she had called her a second time. I asked, I said, has she called you before? And she said, yes, 2 weeks ago. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, so I've been through my own share of stuff online, and I think, honestly, you guys, I'll end with this. I think that's what's made me stronger is the cyberbullying, is people saying I can't do something and I need to prove it to myself that I can, and to them. And I'm not a liar. Um, and, this doesn't make Jimmy a horrible person. This lets people understand that in the beginning, he wasn't ready to be tied down, so to speak, by her or anyone, because he was doing his own thing. Has he had a heart attack? Is he, a little older now? Because I'm telling you, age makes a difference. He is going to feel a difference in his achy bones when he's 55 compared to 50. And then it'll be worse when he's 60. And this is the way it goes. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here and supporting Martin and everyone else. And the people that came in the bushes, or should we call them the briar bushes? Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, but I feel better getting a little bit of understanding of why I did this. I'm trying to see if I missed anyone in chat. I'm not able to for some reason. Oh, there it is. If you're watching for the sport, yeah, PJ is a total clout chaser. Allegedly, I guess I better say. Gotta eat, but apparently she needs to more. I don't care if that's kind of mean. I'm mad at her. And she was never my kind of a flirt. I mean, I didn't ever meet Jimmy or something. It was just weird. And I'm just like, what? So I contacted him. In fact, I called him on Messenger. And I had only done that once about a bullying situation, and then about does he have a girlfriend, and other than that, we FaceTimed, and a lot. And it was special. And I'll leave it at that. I'm going to go now. Thanks, everyone. I don't care if you hit the like at all. I really don't. This isn't about clicks and views. This isn't about making Jimmy's life worse. This is because of that sisterly, whatever the heck avatar that didn't just send it to me once. It was like 3 different women and sisterly, what's her face, twice. And I was like, that's it. Because I knew there'd be people that would doubt it. I said that on that live. I said, oh God, I don't care if people think I wrote this. I said that even. Sure enough. Well, I gave you the best proof I can. You can get your magnifying glasses out, do whatever you want. I hope Jimmy can forgive me in his heart someday. And yeah, you know, I'd like to still be his friend, but I'm pretty sure it'll, you know, probably never happen again. And PJ will love the ending of that. She'll be like, yeah, I won. He's my man, this and that. Well, stop mothering him. Do little things for him, but don't mother him and tell him what to do, how to be, and how to act. And you may be able to keep him. And learn some skills in the bedroom. That might help you too. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.